Hey, how's it going everyone? Welcome back to MNixBleached Path of Exile, Breach League Hardcore. It's been a while, almost a whole week to be exact. If you were not aware, I went back to the Blue Mountains in northern Ontario, central Ontario. I went skiing. I went back skiing, but
Need a map?
since I got destroyed last time, well, downhill skiing and freaking broke my shoulder. This time around, I just decided to go cross-country skiing instead. I thought it would be easy. Turns out it wasn't. It actually kicked my ass. It was one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life, I want to say. What is this map? Undead, Desecrated Ground. No biggie. Let's start the day off with like a nice Santa daily. It's like a good way to get us refamiliarized with our character. You know, a week of no PoE kind of makes it so that you kind of forget what the playstyle is like. So let's try and get back into it now. Real quick, I went out and bought the Doriani's Invitation Heavy Belt. What it does is it gives us extra damage, which helps, and also and also gives us more stun duration or stun threshold while using a flask. Now that's actually really important since previously our belt gave us 15% stun threshold. Now it gives us 25% reduced stun threshold, but only when we're using a flask. So I guess in a way it promotes, healthy flask usage while we're playing. I guess that's good. And then I think I mentioned that I put on the Formless Inferno. If I haven't mentioned it, well, now I have. The Formless Inferno is really interesting because it gives us 8% of physical damage taken as fire damage, which is nice, which means we take reduced physical damage. But armor is also increased by uncapped fire resistance. And our fire resistance is 78%, so we get 78% increased armor. That brings our armor up to 12,000. That is a very big deal. So with 12,000 armor, I actually feel very safe, unless we're fighting stuff like Isaro or whatever. I think we might have done it last episode already, but I thought I'd bring that up again. There have been quite a few changes to our characters over the last 2 or 3 episodes, and it'll continue to be the case. Where maybe every couple episodes or so we find. Whoa, double freezing shrine. This is pretty cool. But yeah, every couple episodes or so we might find like a nice upgrade, or a new unique that maybe we want to try out and test out, and if it's good, we'll stick with it. Now I'm still sticking with the rear guard or with the Cragfall. We have the option of the rear guard, but I don't know if I need it. And I hesitate when I say this, but the stun threshold is just really, really important, and it's not something that I want to lose. So with that said, if we start having damage issues again, and we might, I'll have to start looking at the rear guard once, or not damage issues, but survivability issues, I suppose. Now I did put in a quartz flask on my 3rd slot, so now that when we're doing, if we ever find ourselves doing breaches, I can actually run out of those big packs, which is really good. I replaced my Quicksilver with the quartz flask, and I think in the Breach League that's the way to go. Typically, I think the Quicksilver is maybe more important, at least in the mid-late game, versus a quartz, but I decided to go with a quartz flask of adrenaline, so I still have the nice move speed. However, being able to just phase through things is it's way too important in the breach, I think, because it's so easy to get stuck, Okay, we're going through pretty quick. Overall, I think definitely feel stronger. I don't know if it's because of the belt. I don't know if it's because of our ascendancy that we picked up very recently. But something about this character it's feeling pretty good. And maybe it's because since we have to use our flasks to get stun threshold, it also means that we need to kill a lot faster in order to recharge our flasks, in order to maintain, you know, like the perma-stun. And we have to be very careful with flask management, right? Like, you don't blow all your flask charges at once. You pop one here and there. If you're in trouble, you pop the other. It does build like good habits. And I'm really glad that someone did suggest, you know, switching over to Doriani's. I'm considering switching over to a series promise as well, just for the damage, and in turn replacing our sulfur flask of heat. That might be down the line as well, but that's not something we're going to be doing right now. For now, having an anti-freeze flask on our 5th slot is pretty useful, I think. Do I have an anti-curse flask? I do. It's on the granite. That's a little weird. My flasks are still not optimized, that's for sure. You know, and overall our gameplay isn't optimized. There's still so much more we could do. But I mean, so far I'm actually feeling okay. And I'm not even using the drill neck, and damage is fine. And again, it is a gorge map, which is probably one of the easiest maps in the game. 4th level at least. And it's undead, so it's all skeletons. But yeah, like having to use the flask all the time promotes us, you know, having good flask management. But not only that, it requires us to have better clear speed. It gets us more into the clear speed meta, because if you don't move fast enough, you don't get your flask charges. If you don't get your flask charges, you can't, you know, spam them. I don't want to say spam them, but you want to maintain like constant flask uptime with this kind of build, or with this kind of playstyle, I guess I want to say. And I mean, that's fine. It's a different kind of playstyle, and it's something that we've never really done. We're more with the, you know, our playstyle is typically oh, sorry. Typically where we just sort of play patiently. What is going on? Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, yeah. That requires some flasks. That can hopefully perma-stun. But here's the problem, like when we're fighting a boss, there's no ads. I can't stun him. I guess we got him. That wasn't too bad. 0 monsters remain. Map complete. There we go.
Need a map?
Now, is there like a nice map that we can do that might be fun? There's a Martius map, and we haven't done that yet. Have we done the channel? We haven't done channel either, so let's buy both of those.
Stay sane, Exile.
My throat's still a little... I got a little sick while I was skiing, but... that's better.
So there you are.
But yeah, basically for the rest of this league, we're just focusing on getting our challenges completed, really. And I don't want to say, you know, that's everything we're going to be doing, but that's basically our main focus for the rest of this league. Obviously, we want to make the build better as well, right? That always comes, you know, getting more currency, but those aren't real tangible goals. The challenges, you can kind of see them. Man, I'm so upset about this belt. This is upsetting. Look at the resistances. They're so good, and yet the life. You give me such a shitty life roll. Like, that's not fair, man. Yeah, this is okay to keep. This one's gonna be turned into a chaos. We can convert one right now, actually. There we go. Alright, and then we can choose to do a tier 3 map. Now, of these two, which ones don't I like? Honestly, I'm starting to really dislike the physical reflect maps. So at the very least, I'm going to re-roll that. The Marshes map I could do. Bloodline. Elemental Equilibrium. Yeah, we re-roll this one. Unique boss has more damage. Avoid elemental status. That's fine. This one's fine as well. Let's do the fleet map of Bloodlines. That might be fun. And that'll get us towards more bonus objectives. Unfortunately, we don't have the twin challenges, but maybe we can re-roll another map to do that. Let's go. Maps, maps, maps. Let's just try and do as much maps as we can every day.
Embraced by mud, grasped by roots,
Oh,
careless are silently swallowed.
okay. Now overall, stun isn't an issue unless we're facing rares, I think. So we don't need to worry about flash uptime and all that stuff if we're just fighting these kinds of things. Like, we're doing enough damage that they die before stun even becomes like something you consider. Destroy the relics, sure. But for bosses and rare mobs like these, I think stun would be really good. I mean, it is sort of our defense, right? Being able to stun things. So when we pop granites and stuff while we're attacking, or when we need to pop quicksilvers, that's where the stuns will come in really handy. I think this is going to end up being one of those playstyles where, you know, most of your damage is going to come from just the siege ballista. But when things go bad, you know, you need to pop a flask. Everything gets stunned while you're popping a flask. That's a side effect. 90%, so we have 90% reduced stun threshold without the flask. And that's not too bad, but I think you want to be at that point where it's like at least 100 something, right? When we were at 105, that was like pretty okay. But 115 is really good. 90 is a little lacking, to be honest, especially for the higher bosses. Which means, you know, that's when we'll really need to use the flask, but hopefully we'll be fine. But now it's sort of one of those status effects that really appear when like you're in need of it, right? Like you're trying to get away or you're trying to get more damage and you pop a flask. And then everything gets stunned while you're at it. Not to say things don't get stunned when you don't have the flask on, it's just less likely. Not that it's a chance thing. It's based on, actually, yeah, it is based on a percentage chance to stun, but you need the required damage first before you can do anything. Oh man, but we are crushing it right now. I'm not worried about damage at all. Since when did we start doing all this damage? I don't understand. We were struggling so much earlier. Well, actually, let's not get cocky here. We didn't open up a breach yet. We'll know once we open up one of those. Could still be bad. But for now, I'm very happy with how things are going. We are dishing out the pain. Oh, buddy, you don't want to mess with me. This character, man. It's like this character is bringing me into like like a roller coaster of emotions. I'm serious. Like first I was like kind of unsatisfied, like oh, I was a little disappointed, like we're not gonna have enough damage to stun things. I'm like, man, this build is gonna fail. Starting to feel disappointed, and now I'm like, you know what? Like things are looking on the up and up, you know? Maybe it won't be all that bad after all. Who knows? Alright, we got a level. What was I leveling? I think I got some damage. Maybe we'll take more crit. Crit chance, yeah? And hopefully crit actually, you know, makes a difference later on in the game. Who knows? If not, we can just refund it. Okay.
Cannot do this yet.
Nailed it. When we get enfeebled, it's still a problem. There's a lot of damage there. Wow, I got nothing. But these guys are really easy to handle. And I mean, the permastun is still alive. Okay, here's the arena. Might as well do it. Don't know exactly what to expect. Bearers of the Guardian. That's not the boss though, I'm sure. Oh, there he is. Oh, it's Calm. Who's permanent? No, that's not Calm. That's like the guy from the pit or something. He's actually permanently stunned. I'm surprised. We actually have pretty decent damage. Wow. What? It shouldn't be right. Why is it so easy? It's not the belt, is it? 29% increased physical damage? Did that increase our damage by a lot? Level 1 elemental prolif. Sure, mister. Use my back door. Ah, double entendre, I see. Prolif. Hello? Am I supposed to be using the back door? Thank you. Soon.
Tell him Moana, warrior.
Okay. Nothing super exciting. No great loot. We gotta avoid manipulation. The jewel. Not that good either. Freeze and mana. I mean, it has some synergy. Death. Death. Alright, maps. A villa. That's pretty good. We haven't done the villa yet, I believe. Oh, yes, we have. Never mind, not so good anymore. Hopefully we'll get a better map. Something we can actually use. That'd be nice. Okay. So this area is complete. Still a lot remaining. Still a lot of time remaining too. Like I'm not just imagining it, you know? Or I don't think I am. It's currently 18 minutes and if we've already fully completed, or I don't want to say fully completed. We've already mostly completed 2 maps. So today is one of those days where we're actually going to be able to do 3 maps. And now, if you're new to this channel, that rarely happens. You know, we average 2 maps an episode at best. You know, sometimes when you get a trial, we go over. It's like we average like 15 to 20 minutes a map. And then if the map is super long, we end up with like a 50-minute episode, even though I'd like for, you know, 30-minute episodes going forward. But it's not even 20 minutes, and I want to say that, you know, this map is almost done. Which means that we're averaging around 10 minutes a map. That seems pretty good. And even like damage-wise, I'm feeling pretty strong. Like how much CPS we have? 5,700. That's pretty dope. 6990 with Veil Haste. Do I have anything to roll this with? And since we're playing a totem build, we can be really efficient. While like our totem's killing stuff, we can just, you know, pick up items and things. Like I'm back to liking this build again. I'm back on board. Totally. I have faith. It's been restored thanks to, I guess, Doriani's invitation. I can't imagine what else changed my mind. Either that or it's like I've been away for so long, I come back and all of a sudden it's like a breath of fresh air and everything seems good again. And I mean, that could be it. Maybe nothing has changed over the last 2 episodes, but I'm not going to go back and check, that's for sure. If I'm going to be blinded by my ignorance, I want it to stay that way. You know? That's where true happiness is at. With just not knowing. It's such a bad thing to say, really. You know, revolutions were built on people wanting to know stuff. Alright. Actually, revolutions were built on hope. Oh. If you watch Rogue One, anyone would know that. Alright, so we're slowing down a little. Mostly because my brain is slowing down. And mob density, to be fair. That previous map, the reason why we went through it so fast was because it was a gorge map. You just run in a straight line and once you get to the end, like, that's it. But here, there's a little bit more to do. There's a breach as well. You know, all that stuff. It gets factored in. Alright. But we're doing fine. Let's look for some hands. Wow, that was actually pretty okay. I mean, it was a Zops area, and that's like one of the easiest ones for me. But still,
I cannot carry this.
I'm actually really liking this Formless Inferno. I think it was a great idea that I went and equipped it. It was Curtis's idea, really, but I'm gonna take credit. And the reason is, we take physical damage as fire damage, and we have 76% fire resistance. So 8% of that gets reduced by a significant amount. And then the rest is then reduced by armor. And I think we also take reduced damage when we're near our totems from our ascendancy. Like, that's pretty important. But the idea is, if you convert some of the damage away from physical, your armor actually ends up meaning so much more. A lot of people complain, you know, oh, the only way armor is efficient is if you take small hits instead of big hits. But if you're able to convert, you know, a portion of those big hits into a different element, right? Well, instead of taking, you know, 100 physical damage, now you're taking 92, and now your armor actually means a bit more. So these conversions actually, they mean a lot for us. And the day we get a taste of hate is going to be a great day, because that's just a bit more conversion away from our armor, which will make it, you know, more efficient. So, and not only that, you know, this thing gave us like 7,000 armor or something like that. Something stupid, ridiculous. So that was, you know, pretty good as well. Okay, we're sitting at the 24-minute mark. And I'm ready to do another map. We don't have too much time left, admittedly.
Need a map?
But, still enough time, nevertheless.
May your maps
So
be
let's finish
merciful.
up that other tier 3 map that we were meaning to do, which was the Oasis. No, that's a tier 2 map. The channel. Yes. Let's do this and then call it an episode. So going forward, we will probably be looking at an episode a day. Vacation is done. Enough playing around. It's time to get back to work, you know? You will slay the twin bosses. Wait, so is this a twin map? It technically is, isn't it? If it is, I'd be really happy. I wasn't planning on doing any challenges today, but it looks like we're gonna get one part done at least. That's assuming that it actually works. And if it does, that's actually very interesting, you know, that's something I never knew before. Like, is it the same map mod? Is it a twin map? It's twin bosses. It's a twinned... Yeah, I don't know. I hope it is. Logically speaking, it should be. But maybe a map mod is different from a prophecy mod? I don't know. Alright. So the channel shouldn't be too difficult. It does make you run around a little bit. But for the most part, it is pretty straightforward. I mean, if I had to shape a map for tier 3... Well, I don't know if it'd be the channel. It might be. It's a pretty fun map. And it's not like you run that many aqueducts. Like, if I had to do a map, I think the way I would pick it, like, a lot of people pick it based on efficiency, right? I'm that guy who would just pick it based on, like, the fun factor. Like, if this map seems fun, I would do it. And another factor would be how often I do it normally. And by that I mean, say you're progressing through the game. You know, if I have to see one more dungeon map, like, I'm gonna go insane. Because you go through that dungeon so many times. Or if I have to see another dried lakes, like, I already do plenty of dried lakes outside, okay? Outside of maps. I don't want to do it inside maps as well. So the tile sets actually, like, they mean something to me. Whereas, you know, for other players, they're like, oh, you gotta worry about the layout. I'm like, nah, fuck that, man. Come here. I'm like, forget all that. Just give me something that looks fun, looks pretty, and I'll do it. That's obviously if you have something that's like, oh, this place has 2 bosses, like what was it, Crystal Veins? Yeah, I'll shape that. You know, get more drops. That's pretty important. But, you know, fuck efficiency. You're playing a game to have fun. For some people, efficiency is fun. Like, I get it. But for me, I just want to do stuff. I want to kill stuff and turn off my brain. That's what I do. You know, it's a form of stress relief. I don't want to think about all that stuff. Nah, let's just play the game, guys. Let's just play the game. Now, speaking of playing the game, right now things are going pretty smoothly. I really think that the armor made a difference. I'm definitely less frightened for my life right now. Like, I don't think I've been chunked for that much damage today, except for that leaping goat. He was pretty strong, actually. The gorge boss. But besides that, I mean, we're doing fine. Getting a little tired though. Alright. Gotta keep up those frenzy charges too. Lots of things that we have to, like, maintain throughout a map. Gotta keep up the flash charges. I mean, we don't need 100% uptime. It's not one of those builds. But when we do need it, you know, we need to keep it up. It's not the only thing we need to keep up. Alright. Oh, breach. But yeah, if things are going bad, we definitely need to make use of our flasks. We have some really good utility flasks. Like, it synergizes really well with our builds. Like, all this armor, a granite and a basalt flask makes it even better. Oh, it's ghosted. So that's like, that's pretty good. We just need to make sure, like, I don't want to be that guy that dies and then I watch the VOD and I realize I didn't pop a single flask, you know? Let's not be that person. Oh, Orb of Regret. And 2 6 sockets. Is it my birthday? Oh my god, why are they so fast? Stop it. Woo! Oh my god. That was pretty scary. We got trapped in a corner and... honestly, if I didn't have this much armor, I think I would have died. I'm gonna attribute to us not dying to the fact that that gate, like, we have a lot of armor right now. Especially with the basalt and granite flasks up. I'm guessing we're at like 20,000, 30,000 maybe. I don't know, let's check real quick. 32,000 with granite and basalt. 90%
Yes, what is
physical reduction. That's pretty good. Because we were pretty much surrounded the entire time. And, but we lived. I mean, these are the kinds of characters that I love to play, right? Like, sure, we don't do that much damage. We can't clear all that much stuff. But eventually it gets done. This is a pretty decent ring, actually. It doesn't have life, unfortunately. But I'll keep it.
I cannot do this yet.
Alright. But yeah, I think if we didn't have all this armor, we definitely would have died there. Or at the very least, like, each hit would have been very damaging, which would cause me to, like, you know, pussy out or something. And I mean, the phasing flask was pretty important too, because we were dodging things. It was harder for them to hit us. Because I think what phasing does is that, like, it lowers the reaction time or something. For melee things, at least. Melee monsters. They don't counterattack as quickly. So when you're running through them, they take a while to hit you. And we have dodge. We have spell dodge. A lot of nice utility flasks this time around, compared to, like, last league, I think. Whereas last league, it was just... what did we have? It was like similar flasks, but it didn't synergize as well. So I'm liking this one a lot better. Alright. Where's the boss? I know that they do a lot of physical damage. I'm not too sure how worried I should be. Specifically, I'm not too sure how much I should be focusing on flasks. If it's even possible to stun them. Like, it kind of looks like the answer is no. I can't stun them. Oh, actually. Oh, that counted as a twin map. That is amazing. So we did get part of our challenge complete. Got some nice loot. Overall, I think we've had a pretty productive day. There's still more than 50 monsters remaining, so we have to, deal with that, but we're up at 45 or 15 bonus objectives completed on our atlas. I think once you get to around 30 maybe, you're gonna get a lot more. You're gonna notice that your map jobs are gonna get better. So that's, I want to reach that at least before we focus on higher tiers. Oh gosh, where the heck do I go? Oh, I haven't been here before. But yeah, once we get 30 objectives, maybe we can be a little more min-maxy? I'm not sure. Excuse me. But right now, just do whatever map is there. Let's just get those objectives done. And once again, micro goals. These small goals, just every day you set up a couple goals for yourself, and you feel a sense of accomplishment if you do manage to finish it. Today, we ended up getting a bit more done on our challenge. We ended up getting a bit more done on our atlas. We hit level 81. Eventually you have to hit level 90. Got some currency. Like it's been quite a productive day, I want to say. I'm satisfied with how this went, definitely. Oh my god. Yo. It's like the gods were happy that we were like praising this game in our day. It's like, oh, you're happy about how your day went?
I cannot carry this.
Thank you. Thank you for just accepting and not complaining about anything. Here's the reward. And I will gladly accept it. Thank you, game. An exalted orb. Could this day get any better?
Yes, what is it?
I don't think so. Maybe that was all the luck for the rest of this league. But hey, fuck it. That was nice. I mean, if we had gotten like the perfect jewel, that would make it the perfect day. But you know what? I'm not gonna complain. Spells will dual wielding, cold skills, rarity, and area damage. I mean, that's actually not a bad jewel if you think about it. Like a crit, dual wielding, dual Dorianis with spell damage, crit strike multiplier, a magic find. I don't know. Maybe it's good. Anyways, we did not get any other maps though, so we still have to find a cavern map, a veil pyramid, a sewer. So there's still a lot of potential tier 3 maps that we have to do.
Learn anything new?
Xana selling any tier 3s? No, she's selling tier 6s and stuff, and we could buy it, but if we're gonna buy anything, it's probably the unID'd
Good luck with
yellows.
your maps.
Probably want to do those next as well. Okay, I think that's good enough for me to call it an episode. Got a lot done today. Really happy about how it went. We got an exalted orb. Are we gonna spend it? Probably not. Probably just gonna keep it, and collect it. This is my collection case. I don't have that many exalts in general, so at least you want to keep it in this tab here, just so it stays here and looks pretty. But that's the end of this episode. Thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Finally back. Finally glad to be playing some more PoE, and we'll continue to play in the future. Keep in touch, guys. I'll see you guys next time. Soon.